This is Jim Nailon, liturgical guitarist. I'm going to share my arrangement of the hymn Be Still My Soul, the melody Finlandia, written by Jean Sibelius. Anyway, I arranged this about 24 years ago, back in 2001, but I just edited it and made a few changes for my new book that's just coming out called Liturgical Guitarist Hymnal. It's a digital book. You can find it through Simply Liturgical Music. Anyway, I'm going to play through this and then we'll talk about it. And then at the very end, I'll give you an idea for a second verse. Okay. Sorry, I spaced out there right at the end, but you get the idea. So this is a very versatile arrangement. You can play it pretty much year-round. It's a nice prelude, especially before a funeral or any mass, just about, except for the real seasonal ones like Christmas or. Anyway, so there's a lot to talk about in this, even though it's fairly simple. First, let's look at the chord shapes that I'm using here. They're all common chords. The G7 over B looks like this. To get that seventh there on the fourth string. So that might be a different chord for some of you. And then a normal G7 there. C. The G7 over B again. You'll see that a lot. The F is just the short F, a lot of times with an A in the bass. There's no barred Fs, there's no thumb around Fs in this, so you don't have to worry about battling an F chord here. And then that's the first line. Let's see, the second line has just same thing. Then third line, a C. And here's what I added in the edit. I added this bass C over B. It's not written in there, but this bass run down to the A minor. Now this A minor you're going to want to slide up on your little finger because you got a C with the melody up here in the third fret of the G, third fret of the first string, which is G, and you want to get a little glissando with that. That makes it nice and smooths that out. Play this A minor. You're only playing the fifth string bass open, and then the fifth fret with the on the first, second, and third strings. But you're using these three fingers, so the last three fingers, and you can get vibrato on that. And then back to D minor there. Then a D minor over an F. We're at the end of the third line. Put your third finger down there on the third fret of the fourth string. And this change, you're gonna, to make this smooth, you're gonna slide on your third and fourth strings, third and fourth fingers, excuse me, down 1 fret to an A7 with, it's over the E in the bass, and then slide back up on your little finger and put your second finger down on the second fret of the third string to get this D minor. So that goes into a C chord, and then a shorter version of the C chord, just 3 notes, and then 3 notes on an F, a D minor, and then a G7. But the G7, I don't know, have we done this one yet? I don't think so. G in the bass, third finger here on the third fret of the fourth string, and your little finger here is on this D on the third fret of the second string. Then the top 3 strings of an E chord, and then brush the E chord. If you can roll it that way with your thumb getting like that, or you can brush it back with the back of your first fingernail or something. Don't want to make it too powerful because it's, with all 6 strings, it's pretty powerful anyway. And then a little different bass run going down to the A minor. C over E, actually, with this top note. Then lift up on the second finger. So back up that A minor chord. Regular G there. Same run here. And there's that G7 with. So those are the chord shapes that you'll need to know. There's actually a lot of things to talk about in this simple arrangement here. And I made notes. So one is to follow my fingering. I've given you, in the notation, you'll see the fingering that I give you. So if you're a tablature reader, you want to look up and look at the fingering for those chords. Because if you don't follow those fingerings, your fingers are going to trip all over themselves. And you won't get a smooth legato through this. One skill that I just gave this piece to my guitar student, and it helps you to move between chord changes faster, because to keep the legato, your chord changes have to be just about instantaneous. Not, if it's like that, you're not going to carry the piece. It's not going to work. So you want to make sure if there's any chord changes that are not smooth, that you can't do just boom, 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 then you want to go over those over and over. So like, say that first chord change, that used to trip me up a little bit. Just go over it again. So get your chord changes down on all the way through, practice it phrase by phrase even. Go over that again, bum, bum, bum. And the next part. So, I've already gone through the chord shapes with you. So you're going to go through the piece like that, bit by bit. Practice it slow, but any chord change that you come across that's challenging for you, let's say like even the end of the third line there, the D minor and then D minor over F. Those should just flow right into each other. Shouldn't be that doesn't cut it. Now, another thing to think about here is counting. I don't know if when I play it, I'm counting out loud in my head. You may want to practice this with a metronome even, but some of these long notes, the tendency is to want to shorten their value. So let's say at the very end of the, well, let's just count it here and play through it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the real tendency is to want to, like at the start of the fourth line there, that F, you want to shorten that E, but you got to give it the full value. So it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait for it. So counting and the timing is another important issue on this piece. Another important issue that many of you may not have thought about is how to bring out the melody when you're playing a chord, plucking, 3 or 4 notes at a time, and how do you bring the melody line out? Well, it's always going to be in this piece, it's always the top note. And I'm going to turn my guitar around here and show you with my right hand, get it up close here, see if I can get into the camera. When I pluck, let's get there. When I'm plucking, I bring my third finger, usually it's my third finger that's playing the melody note, and I bring it all the way to the palm. These two, the first two fingers, they're not, they don't get as much force or as much power as the note that's playing the melody. Now, when I was studying classical guitar 40, 50 years ago, something like that, that concept was mind-boggling to me, that you played different strength on different fingers. But sad to say, you have to learn that skill. So you want to practice just trying to bring out that's your note you want to hear. You don't want it everything. If I'm playing everything the same, it sounds like this. If I'm accentuating the melody, it's more. Hopefully you can hear that difference. I've lost most of my hearing, so I can't tell it quite as well. And another thing to think about is when to roll and when not to roll. Now, I have one student who's rolling the chord is not a natural thing for him, and he's really struggling to be able to do that. So you're playing the notes. You can play them all at once, or you can roll them, which is like strumming. So if you can roll, then that becomes another expressive device you can use. So, And I'm not going to give you any hard, fast rules on when to roll and when not, but if you listen to my playing, you'll hear that sometimes I roll and sometimes I don't. For example, let's, at the start, those are straight, and then I roll, straight, roll, straight, straight, roll. But that can be an expressive device too, and you'll work that out on your own. What other things do I have here to talk about? Second verse, roll or not to roll, bringing out melody notes. Oh, following my fingering and counting. I think we've covered all the basic things. So now, if you get this down, then I always play a second verse freely. And I've never written that out, and I probably never will. But it'll be a good exercise for you to try something, and I'll give you a taste of it. It would sound like, so I'm coming off the first verse, and now to the second verse. Some parts, there's really no chance to put fills in like that. You just got to do that same way. Gotta put that ninth chord in there. So you can dress it up a little bit, play with it, but first learn the main part, and then it won't be too hard to express yourself with a few more frilly notes in there when it's possible. I think that's all I have to do on this. Again, look carefully at the fingerings, but there's nothing terribly hard about it. Oh, the glissando, when you're going up to that A minor, put a lot of pressure on your little finger. Pressure. Now I put a different bass run there in the middle of the fourth line, coming down to C over E. I'm not as fond of that as I am the first one where it just stays on C. I think that's a stronger bass run. Sometimes I only play it that way, but the other one gives you another variation. But either way, that glissando is nice because it really links together and keeps the legato as you're going there. And coming down off that A minor, going into that little two-note A minor, I slide down just a little bit. Just a hint of a legato. I think those are little tricks, whatever, that kind of make the playing sound a little more advanced, perhaps. I don't know what the right word is. Something else I thought about while I was doing that, but I can't remember it. Anyway, so that's Be Still My Soul. Look for more arrangements on liturgicalguitarist.com, and I pray God blesses your playing.